Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have kind of an interesting topic considering Delta Force just came out, but I see a lot of talk about it in my Twitch chat and in my comment section, even online, Reddit, Twitter, stuff like that. Will Delta Force last? A lot of people look at this game and they just go, oh, well, this is completely indistinguishable from, Battlefield 2042 or a Battlefield game. As soon as Battlefield comes out, this game's just going to the wayside. But I think a lot of people saying that aren't really looking at the game for what it is. They're not looking at all the things the game offers. And obviously the game has issues. We'll go over that in this video as well. But I don't look at Delta Force as a copy or like the worst version of something else. I think it's the upgrade, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into things. If you enjoy the content or want to follow Delta Force, definitely subscribe to the channel and, of course, hit the like button on this video. I'll have a bunch of best weapon builds out very, very soon. I'm going to do videos regarding the best weapons in the game, along with their setups, alongside best weapons for each class in the game. So, of course, Assault, Medic, Recon, and Support. So definitely turn notifications on. I know you guys have been clamoring for me to build every weapon in the game. It does take some time, and there are like over 40 or maybe even 50 weapons in the game. So yeah, saying I'm a bit overwhelmed is an understatement. And lastly, before we get into things, thank you all so much for smashing 70,000 subscribers. I mean, that is just, I don't even know what to say. So when speaking about whether or not Delta Force will last, I think it's pretty important to point out that Battlefield 2042, which is the game people compare Delta Force to quite a bit, and there's been some controversy regarding Delta Force in 2042 in the past. I think it's important to point out that 2042, even though it was the absolute worst Battlefield of all time and still remains the worst Battlefield of all time, that game somehow, some way, still has quite a significant player base. Mostly on console, okay, but it does peak to about 15-ish thousand on PC, plus the console player base. So right then and there, in my humble opinion, if that game can hold a player base the way it has, I think Delta Force is going to be just fine, considering it's free-to-play with an extraction shooter and a solid Battlefield mode. But looking at some other factors, I absolutely see why people are expressing their concerns, namely the amount of content Delta Force released with. You can take a look at the Battlefield mode. There are only 5 maps available, okay? I can personally guarantee you people are probably going to get bored of playing these maps within the month, okay? Not talking a few months down the line. I wouldn't be surprised if people are already bored of some of the maps. So this could very well be a case of too little content right at the start. Just there isn't enough variety for players, right? But it's difficult for Delta Force because they have to split the content drops between 2 major modes. It isn't like they can just release maps purely for the Battlefield mode. They have to release maps for both the Extraction and the Battlefield mode, and they're mutually exclusive, I believe. I don't think there are any maps you can play in the Extraction mode that are in the Battlefield mode. And then when it comes to the extraction shooter, I don't personally play the extraction shooter, at least right now, but comment down below, is it interesting enough to hold your attention for a very long period of time? I understand extraction shooter players are kind of a different breed of player, and the attraction to that sort of mode keeps you around for longer, because there are all sorts of missions you have to complete, and the weapon builds are really fun, and generally speaking, just the experience of playing the extraction shooter is enough. The gameplay is enough to keep you interested. But that gameplay doesn't really matter if cheating isn't taken care of. I have heard from a lot of my extraction shooter friends that they just keep getting aimbotted. And apparently these aimbotters are using names in the game that utilize special symbols that prevent you from reporting them. So that's concerning. You die in the game, in the extraction shooter, you lose all of your gear because apparently the loot compensation isn't working correctly right now. Then you can't even report them. Me personally, yeah, I destroyed my entire desk, just to be completely honest. Now, I haven't seen a cheater in the Battlefield mode, thankfully, okay? Not yet, at least. Fingers crossed. I have seen some posts on Reddit where apparently people are making tanks fly. That isn't the most destructive cheat. That's kind of funny. But I know from personal experience playing Battlefield, once those aimbotters get in there, oh man, it is the perfect mode for cheating, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. These cheaters load in, there's 32 players in the enemy team that they can aimbot, and the game is free to play? Oh my god, say less. Moving back to the content and just the amount of maps, I did make a video very recently speaking about how they plan on releasing 4 maps for the Battlefield mode in this year and then 4 maps for the Extraction mode in this year. These updates will be spaced out by 3 months each, okay? So we're getting one map every 3 months for each mode. I understand the game is free to play, right? And the gameplay itself, at least for me, is actually really, really solid. In fact, I have barely encountered any bugs whatsoever. So on one hand, it's sort of like personal preference. I am personally probably not going to get bored of the game because I like the gameplay, but some people are absolutely going to get fed up with the fact that there's basically nothing new for such a long time, even if they do add a bunch of weapons. The one map for a lot of people is just not going to be it. And then, the people are getting frustrated with the Battle Pass XP limit. Apparently, there is only a certain amount of XP you can grind within a week before it actually doesn't let you rank the Battle Pass up, and that is causing massive frustration. Then, the MMR system, which I've spoken so much about on this channel. So many people in my comment section and in my Twitch stream have said that they either haven't even installed the game because of the system, or they uninstalled the game because of the MMR matchmaking in Havoc Warfare. So right there, they're losing players, and it's not a small amount of players. Hundreds of comments have said this on my personal channel, and I am nowhere near the total reach and scope of Delta Force's player base, so it's safe to assume that you can probably multiply that by multiple orders of magnitude. But for me personally, it isn't all doom and gloom. It's actually pretty sunny and bright on this side. I actually am really enjoying the game. I think it has great potential for staying power. And I think so far, the developers have shown that they understand the issues and they are willing to listen to feedback. But on some particular issues, I would personally be very shocked if they made any major decisions regarding the MMR matchmaking system. Once a system like that finds its way into a game, we'll use skill-based matchmaking or EOMM in Call of Duty as an example. It is pretty much impossible to get that system back out of the game. With games being so data-driven nowadays, they're definitely looking at the data internally of how that system is playing into their plan, and ultimately they're going to make the decision based off the data, guys, not really what their community is asking for. So to wrap this video up, guys, I do think Delta Force has some awesome things going for it, but there are still some question marks. There really are. I don't think the game is going to have some sort of massive decline anytime soon. I think everything's going fantastically, but I do think it's interesting people are even discussing this at this point, and enough for me to make a video about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, thank you guys smashing the 70,000 sub barrier on YouTube. I remember when I hit 7,000 subs, and this was a number of years ago, I actually bought a watch in celebration, and now I have 10 times the subscriber base. It feels like it was yesterday, but it certainly wasn't. So it's been a crazy journey. I am very excited for what is to come and have some cool stuff in the background. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Coming to the streams. If you haven't come to the stream, first link in the description. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this YouTube channel. And be sure to hit a like in this video and subscribe for more, especially those weapon builds. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.